I would say that they're more surprises because they have beginnings, middles, and ends. They're not like, it's not just like a, hey, there's the person and we move on. It's they're there for a reason.
Ryan Reynolds is being forced to sell Wrexham, and it's all because of Blake Lively's $400 million lawsuit battle with Justin Baldoni. The shocking lawsuit has sent Ryan's finances into chaos, and now he's being pushed out of Wrexham for good. Did Blake Lively's feud with Justin Baldoni just cost Ryan everything? Let's dive right in. There's a lot to cover. When Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney first bought Wrexham Football Club in 2020, it was supposed to be a feel-good underdog story. Two Hollywood stars taking a struggling Welsh football club and turning it into a global phenomenon. Fans embraced the duo, the club got new sponsors, and Wrexham started winning both on and off the pitch. The buzz surrounding Wrexham reached an all-time high when Reynolds and McElhenney produced their hit documentary series, Welcome to Wrexham. It showcased the club's journey, highlighting the genuine bond between the owners, players, and fans. With Ryan's natural charisma and deep pockets, the club seemed poised for an era of sustained success. But behind the scenes, things were far from perfect. Then, the unthinkable happened. A staggering $400 million lawsuit was slapped against Ryan Reynolds, sending shockwaves through Hollywood and throwing his entire empire into chaos. At first, many assumed the lawsuit was tied to one of Ryan's high-stakes business ventures, possibly connected to his production company or even Wrexham. But as details emerged, the truth was even more explosive. The lawsuit wasn't just about business, it was personal. Justin Baldoni had filed a defamation suit against both Ryan and his wife, Blake Lively, claiming they had actively worked to destroy his reputation in Hollywood. Insiders say the lawsuit stemmed from months of behind-the-scenes drama that escalated during the filming of It Ends With Us, the highly anticipated adaptation of Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel. Reports had already surfaced about Blake and Baldoni clashing on set, with tensions brewing over creative control, script changes, and power dynamics. But according to Baldoni's lawsuit, things went far beyond simple disagreements. He alleged that Blake and Ryan had orchestrated a calculated smear campaign against him, using their Hollywood influence to paint him as a manipulative and unprofessional director. The lawsuit claims that Blake, feeling overshadowed by Baldoni's control over the project, began secretly working behind the scenes to shift the narrative in her favor. This allegedly involved spreading damaging rumors about Baldoni through carefully placed leaks to entertainment media. But what really turned the situation nuclear, according to Baldoni, was Ryan Reynolds stepping in to use his industry power to blacklist Baldoni from future projects. Legal documents reportedly cite text messages, emails, and insider testimonies that suggest Ryan made direct calls to studio executives, warning them against working with Baldoni in the future. The lawsuit even claims that Ryan leveraged his relationship with Disney and Marvel to damage Baldoni's career, ensuring that his name wouldn't be attached to any major upcoming projects. If true, this wouldn't just be a simple case of Hollywood gossip. It would be one of the most explosive power struggles in recent industry history.
And unlike any case that I've handled in my entire career, it's the one case we're going to put every single text message, every single document, everything on a website for everyone in the public to read, come to their own conclusions. There are evidence for all these points. There are text messages for all these points. And they can determine whether or not there was sexual harassment here, there was a smear campaign, or there was retaliation, because we have proof and receipts that absolutely and unequivocally show this is not true.
Meanwhile, the lawsuit had even bigger implications beyond just Hollywood politics. Some sources claim that the financial weight of a $400 million lawsuit could spell disaster for Ryan's growing empire, including his ownership of Wrexham. Allegations began swirling that Ryan's financial problems ran deeper than anyone realized, and that his extravagant investments, including his stake in Wrexham, his tequila brand, and multiple production deals, had already stretched him thin. If the lawsuit proceeded and Baldoni won, it could mean devastating financial losses that would force Ryan to sell assets, including his beloved football club. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, the lawsuit collided with Blake Lively's ongoing Hollywood war with Justin Baldoni. While Blake had tried to downplay rumors of conflict, Baldoni's legal team was now bringing every piece of alleged behind-the-scenes manipulation to light. Suddenly, Blake wasn't just an actress caught in creative disputes. She was being portrayed as someone who had actively worked to destroy Baldoni's career. Blake Lively's movie, It Ends With Us, was supposed to be her biggest role yet, but tensions on set led to a public feud with director Justin Baldoni. Rumors surfaced that Blake clashed with Baldoni over creative control. Some even accused her of trying to sabotage his reputation. But then came the real shocker. Insiders claimed Blake pulled Ryan into the mess. Text leaks allegedly showed Ryan using his influence to control media narratives, and Wrexham's resources might have been part of the cover-up. And here's where things get messier. Hollywood insiders claim that Ryan reached out to key journalists in an attempt to spin the media coverage in Blake's favor. His PR team allegedly contacted outlets to shift blame onto Justin Baldoni, painting him as the difficult one on set. But the plan backfired. Not only did Baldoni push back with his own receipts, but Ryan's interference started raising red flags elsewhere, including within Wrexham's leadership team.
And I'm really excited. But as I've gotten a little bit older, I sort of want to. Really, I'm lucky that I get to work in this industry, and particularly incredibly fortunate that I get to work in it this long. But I really want to work with people that are either immensely talented or people that I love and that I'm genuinely best friends with. And unfortunately, Hugh does not qualify as either of those. But I am excited because I'm a Logan fan. So, and then that covers Will Ferrell as well. That's a guy that my entire life.
When Wrexham's board caught wind of Ryan Reynolds' secret dealings, they initially brushed off the rumors as mere Hollywood gossip. But as whispers of his $400 million lawsuit with Justin Baldoni grew louder, the board members decided they couldn't ignore the situation any longer. They launched their own internal investigation, hoping to separate fact from fiction. But what they uncovered left them stunned. According to leaked reports, Ryan may have been leveraging Wrexham's rising popularity for far more than just football. At first, it seemed like he was simply using the club's success to boost his public image amid growing scrutiny. But insiders allege that Reynolds was using Wrexham's brand power to push positive press for Blake Lively, carefully crafting a narrative that kept the focus on their wholesome Hollywood love story rather than the brewing legal chaos. Even more concerning, sources claimed that Ryan had begun using Wrexham's influence to shield himself from the financial storm heading his way. He allegedly leaned on club sponsorships, TV deals, and merchandising profits to stabilize his personal finances while he scrambled to handle the mounting legal fees from Baldoni's lawsuit.
What we're most excited about with respect to season 3 is that as the episodes are finished and air, we will get closer and closer to continuity with the actual football season happening. So by the time we're midway through season 3, you'll see we don't have any idea what's going to happen. Just from that sort of macro 30,000-foot narrative standpoint, we have no clue. The hopes, dreams, livelihoods, et cetera, all these things are resting on this club somehow, getting promoted or everything.
Don't say it.
No, I know. I won't say. I know. I wasn't. But
I like that you stopped yourself from saying it.
Yeah. But everything that we're doing right now is for broke. We're going for broke. We have to get promoted. This club, there's no real consolation prize if we don't. So we are all in.
At first, the board tried to dismiss these concerns as speculation, but then came the sponsorship scandal. Financial insiders revealed a troubling pattern. Some brands and potential sponsors reported feeling pressured into partnering with Wrexham under strange circumstances. Allegedly, Hollywood connections were being used as bargaining chips. Certain brands were reportedly promised access to A-list events, exclusive collaborations, or even investment opportunities in Ryan's businesses in exchange for sponsorship deals with the club. While sports sponsorships often come with celebrity endorsements, this was something else entirely. To Wrexham's leadership, this was the moment Ryan crossed the line. The club had been built on a foundation of trust, authenticity, and community-driven values, and now it was being dragged into Hollywood power plays and financial scandals. The board knew that if they didn't act fast, Wrexham could become collateral damage in Ryan's growing crisis. Behind closed doors, emergency meetings were held. The board weighed their options, debating whether Reynolds could be reined in or if his involvement had become too much of a liability. Ultimately, the decision was clear. Ryan Reynolds had to go. The official demand was swift and brutal. The board requested Ryan's resignation and pushed for him to sell his stake in Wrexham. What started as a Hollywood fairy tale had now turned into a corporate nightmare. The club's leadership wasn't willing to let an off-field scandal ruin their progress, and with Baldoni's lawsuit intensifying, keeping Ryan on board was simply too risky. Ryan, now facing both legal and financial ruin, had no choice but to step down. As much as he had loved the club and what it represented, he could no longer balance his Hollywood empire crumbling around him with the responsibility of running a football club. Just like that, the fairy tale was over. Fans were devastated. Many had believed in Ryan's vision for Wrexham, seeing him not just as a celebrity owner, but as someone who truly cared about the club's future. Now, they were left wondering, had it all been a carefully orchestrated act? Was Wrexham just another piece in a larger game of influence and power?
If you even aspire to be like a Hollywood actor and actress, in most circumstances, you're dealing with someone who probably has some narcissistic tendencies. I'm not saying everyone, okay? But the majority. This is why we have these stereotypes about Hollywood, right? They're not people that treat people well. They're all just trying to climb to the top, and they'll do anything to get there.
For many, this betrayal felt personal. Ryan had built himself up as a hands-on owner who truly cared about the team. But now, with these financial and legal troubles coming to light, some fans felt that Wrexham had been used as a shield to protect his own crumbling career. Meanwhile, the sale of his stake in Wrexham is estimated to net him tens of millions of dollars. But insiders say it still won't be enough to cover his legal troubles. With a $400 million lawsuit looming over his head, Ryan may have to sell even more assets just to stay afloat. Now, Rob McElhenney is left to pick up the pieces. Can Wrexham survive without Ryan's influence, or will this controversy stain the club forever? In the wake of the scandal, Wrexham supporters are divided. Some believe that Reynolds' involvement was always about building a brand, while others argue that his passion for the club was genuine. Regardless of where people stand, one thing is clear: Wrexham's future will look very different without Ryan at the helm.
I would say that they're more surprises because they have beginnings, middles, and ends. They're not like, it's not just like a, hey, there's the person and we move on. It's they're there for a reason.
Yeah. And you said it just earlier, but I wanted to go back on that. You think that this might be the greatest film that you've...
I mean, look, most of the time when the movie is this much fun to make.
Meanwhile, Hollywood insiders are watching Blake Lively's next moves closely. With her career already under scrutiny, could this controversy end up damaging her reputation permanently? While some believe she'll weather the storm, others think that this PR disaster will follow her for years to come.
On Blake Lively's claims that she was allegedly harassed by this guy when they shot the movie, It Ends With Us, a film about domestic violence. And was Justin didn't harass Blake. Blake was interested in wresting control of this movie away from Justin, who was the director and the producer. She was just an actress in it. And to the point where this guy was in the basement at his own movie's premiere. And that what in fact happened was you guys were the ones out there generating negative press against Justin. You guys were the ones who were trying to ruin Justin at the Reynolds penthouse in Manhattan, where Ryan Reynolds allegedly bullied Justin so badly that a Sony representative, and her biggest takeaway was, it was so nasty. There's just so much more to the story, and the media's already like self-flagellating. Oh, we were too mean to Blake. And now you see text messages from Blake Lively comparing herself. She's the mother of dragons in Game of Thrones, that she too has her dragons, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. What Brian Friedman alleges is, and that they are powerful advocates for her. You'll go along or I'll unleash my dragons on you, you loser who no one's ever heard of.
I can't believe neither side is like giving in. They're like digging in further.
It's going to be the kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, documents, which prove exactly what she did to take over the movie and used her PR people to try and destroy Justin. And we're carefully considering other people that will be sued also.
And what about Ryan? Can he bounce back from one of the biggest PR disasters of his career? Once celebrated for his business acumen and ability to turn almost anything he touched into gold, whether it was his Mint Mobile venture, his stake in Aviation Gin, or his ownership of Wrexham, Reynolds is now staring down a crisis that threatens not just his finances, but also his reputation. With millions of dollars on the line, increasing skepticism from Hollywood insiders, and growing pressure from both the entertainment industry and the sports world, the road ahead looks more uncertain than ever.
Who owns the next movie script? I am going to invest myself everywhere. I'm going to be doing your movie premiere. I'm going to be doing promos and making fun of you, right? I'm going to put myself in the end credits. Like, this is like psychotic behavior, okay? Blake Lively is not a good person, that she has proven herself not to be a kind person, okay? And that's largely due to the fact that she is a modern feminist. And so she has to create struggle where there just isn't any, okay? She has a track record of being difficult to work with, from Armie Hammer, who got fired from Gossip Girl because he said during a dinner that she was a bitch regarding Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. When I just recognize that they are up on their high horses and that they potentially treat people very badly and that really they're bored and rich. Another circumstance that made me see right through Ryan Reynolds and the kind of person that he is when, despite being friends with Joe Alwyn, who dated Taylor Swift for 5 years. She's best friends with Blake Lively. Ryan and Blake and two other of her friends all staged a mass unfollowing of Joe Alwyn like they were 13 years old. Okay, Ryan, you're 48 years old. Grow up. Literally grow up. I have not seen a case so open and shut in my life. And the more that I read and the more details that I get into, as long as Ryan's a lot smarter than her, and she therefore allows him to manipulate and control every layer of his life, so long as she can just, be the princess.
The club, once hailed as a beacon of hope and renewal, is now entangled in controversy, financial troubles, and a shocking collapse on the field. What was meant to be an inspiring Hollywood-backed sports revival has instead become one of the most stunning meltdowns in football history. Fans who once saw Reynolds as a hero are now questioning his leadership, while critics are dissecting his business decisions with growing scrutiny.
My relationship with my father, which was very complicated and difficult. My dad was a very I come from a middle class, kind of blue collar home, and my dad was just of that generation where it's just he was Clint Eastwood, less is more. Simple grunts is how he communicated.
Okay, gotcha.
I think people tell themselves stories, and this sort of comes back to your worldview that you just mentioned.
There's no question it relates to Justin. I mean, anybody that can watch that, the hair bun, the comment about the pregnancy. I mean, it's pretty obvious what's being done. But again, if somebody is seriously sexually harassed, you don't make fun of it. It's a serious issue.
Reynolds now finds himself at a crossroads. Will he be able to recover from this setback, or has he overestimated his ability to succeed in the unpredictable world of sports ownership? Can his charm and marketing genius help him navigate this storm, or is this the moment where his golden touch finally runs out? His next move could determine whether this is just another chapter in his remarkable career, or the beginning of a costly and humbling downfall. As for Ryan and Blake, the world is watching their next move. Will they manage to recover, or is this just the beginning of their downfall? One thing is for sure, this is a scandal that no one will forget anytime soon.
This is what really bugs me about this is narcissistic abuse. He wanted him to feel alone and like he had no one on his side, and the means for him to attain that was through his wealth and the A-list clientele that he surrounds himself with. But I'm just saying that the fact that he doesn't want to be apart from her, and now he's inserted himself into every layer of this movie, something's very wrong here.
So, do you think that Ryan Reynolds will end up bankrupt after losing the lawsuit? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching!